If we were problem drinkers, getting sober and staying sober wasn't always easy. I've been doing it for 10 years. It was my last drink over 10 years ago. And I do it just by day, one day at a time. And what I mean by that is don't worry about tomorrow, don't worry about the future, and don't worry about how many days that you got to stay sober. The most important thing is that you're sober today and that you don't have to drink anymore. And don't pick up. So when you're asking for help in the morning from your higher power, once again, it's up to you. It's, if you want to have a higher power or who your higher power is. Your higher power could be anybody that you pray to, such as Buddha or God or Jesus or the Virgin Mary. Me, I pray to the Great Spirit or the Creator of our planet, of our universe, of our galaxy, our creation. So we don't worry about tomorrow. We worry about just today. And maintaining sobriety, you have to remember one thing, that we want to stay alive and we want to stay sober. And once we got it through our mind and through our head that we're staying sober for ourselves, and we feel that in our heart that we're staying sober for ourselves, not for the courts, not to get our spouse back or our husband, nothing like that. None of these things. Not to stay out of jail. Well, stay out of jail is a good thing with quitting drinking, and so that was one of the reasons why I stopped. And so it was my rock bottom also. So when you feel those rock bottoms, or if you reach those rock bottoms, remember those rock bottoms. When you feel like picking up a drink, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody that you trust. Talk to somebody that you feel you can be open with, and that you're out of harm's way, and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself every day that you can stay sober, and whatever you do, if you do pick up a drink, as I was saying in my previous video, try to reach out for somebody first. But if you do pick up a drink, put it back down just as quick as you picked it up. And so I managed to stay sober one day at a time, starting one day at a time. One day led to 1 week. 1 week led to a month. And then 1 month led to a year. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm doing it. I did it. A year went by. 2 years went by. 3 years. 4 years. And by then I was able to share my story comfortably and talk about myself. And that's another good thing for you to stay sober too, is to share your experiences with those that are still suffering. And that's what it's good to go to self-help meetings like AA meetings and or treatment centers, or if you're native, I go to healing circles and ceremonies if I feel I need to do those things. And but I choose to share my story through my writing and through social media, and so that's what brings me here today, sharing my story about myself and how I stay sober. So live life one day at a time, and if you have something stressing you out, try to deal with the stress as soon as possible. Continue to deal with your personal difficulties from your past. A lot of people say it's not good to talk about the past, but the past, sometimes it needs to be dealt with. Things that have happened in the past that keep us drinking, we have to keep dealing with those issues. People have hurt us in the past. People were abusive. Our spouses were abusive to us. Our friends, our family, people that we drank with and partied with that were supposed to be our friends. Sometimes family, sometimes strangers can cause us harm, and personal trauma, especially childhood trauma, has to be dealt with. And for me, I took on a lot of characteristics from residential schools. My grandfather, who I was raised by all my life up until I was 15, was in a residential school, and so he took on a lot of the characteristics of the abuse that they taught there. So they taught the wrong kind of love in these schools, and I'll go into that more further as I continue with my videos and educate others on this ongoing problem of alcoholism and drug abuse. And so I continue to maintain my sobriety by telling my story, talking with others. And when I feel down, I smudge and I pray. By smudging, I burn sweetgrass. That's a form of praying in our native culture, First Nation culture. Um, so I have a higher power, the Great Spirit that I talk to in the morning. I thank you for for helping me. Thank you for getting me through this day sober. And at night, I give thanks for being alive again today. When I wake up, first thing on my mind, I'm thankful that I'm alive. I'm alive today. There were so many times that I could have died in the past, and why I share my story is so that other addicts and others that still suffer um, can feel that hope. That you you're important, and you begin to love yourself. When you begin to love yourself, that means you don't put stuff into your body. You don't let people abuse you. You don't let garbage come into your body. You take care of yourself because your body is that temple, your personal temple, and you only got one temple, and you only got one life and one body. So treat it well, unless of course you want to continue abusing and destroy yourself. So you have to maintain that sobriety by focusing on just one day at a time, and your recovery will grow on that, and continue to help others whenever possible. And with that, I hope I helped everyone again for another day. Another day. Stay sober and drive carefully.